What's going on, everyone? Brian Schmidt here from Guardians of the Geckos, and welcome to the first video of 2022. How exciting is that? So, to kick off the year in the right fashion, I wanted to rehash a video I did a couple years ago. And as we all know, things change over the years, we adapt, we learn. So, this is the new updated version of, drumroll, top accessories I use as a Crested Gecko breeder that make my daily routine a little bit easier.
I'm going up, got that look in my eye, the feeling inside, and I know I'm on the move now. Hey, whoa, we're finally fireproof.
Now, if any of you are brand spanking new here, my name is Brian and I am a gecko breeder specializing in New Caledonian gecko species and day gecko species. Company name, Guardians of the Geckos LLC. And our goal on this channel is to help educate you guys a little bit based on our own experience raising these magnificent reptiles, and of course to have some fun along the way. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and make sure to subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss any of our future uploads. So now let's go ahead and get started with the first accessory that helps make my life a little bit easier as a gecko breeder. So, for the first item, and actually for everything I'm gonna show you guys in this video, I will put the links down in the description box below to make it super easy for you guys to find these items. So everything I talk about, check it out down below. Anyways, the first item here, it is not, hint hint, it is not the blue cloth here. It is underneath the blue cloth, and that is, boom, this right here, an automatic timer. And yeah, most of you guys are probably feeling very underwhelmed right now, like, yeah, we're already using automatic timers, Brian. But anyways, have to talk about this because it is absolutely essential if especially you have tons and tons of lights in the gecko room, right? It's just one less thing to worry about when you have to go through and turn on all the lights, turn off all the lights day and night. And it's very important for certain species that need that exact amount of daylight hours. A lot of times you'll have more productive breeding pairs when you have a strict lighting schedule to mimic, you know, their natural environment as close as possible. And so that's why this is so essential. You can program it exactly to have like 10 hours of daylight or 12 hours of daylight, whatever you need. And then you can just change it out throughout the year if you need to decrease that, increase that, whatever it is. But yeah, this one's super simple right here. Keep in mind though, if you're gonna get one of these, this one right here is for a 2-prong outlet, and it only allows you to plug in 2 prongs. So if you're using some of those big UVB lights, you may need to find a automatic timer with 3 prongs in here. Really easy to program this one right here. They have fancier ones, of course, that are more like digital ones, and you can program, you know, multiple on and offs throughout the day, whatever it is. And you don't need to just plug in lights on here. You can plug in, you know, certain misting systems, you know, whatever you can think of. Anyways, yeah, so that is item number 1, an automatic timer. Let's move on to number 2. Now for accessory number 2, and I am so excited to show you guys this because it is the MistKing Ultimate Misting System. Now, MistKing, just like the name says, is basically the king of the misting systems. If you have multiple cages that you need misting. Now, there's a bunch of different misting systems out there. Most of them are more based on maybe setting it up with 1 or 2 enclosures. Now, there's a couple different ones that are competitive with MistKing, but with my experience, this one is, at least for me, the best one I've ever had before. Now, the reason I have a box right here is because I'm actually finally replacing the one I have out on my patio for the day geckos. Now, I got that system, and I'm not lying to you at all. And that's what I mean by how reliable this is. I bought that thing, I believe it was the Daytona Expo in, I don't even know, 2008 or something. It was like 10 to 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. So now the system's even more robust than ever, especially way since then. So I had to buy, you know, when that one basically crapped out, I had to get a new one. And yeah, here it is. So MistKing now comes in, there's 3 different tiers, I believe. You have the starter setup, which I'm not sure exactly how many nozzles you can connect up to it, maybe up to 10. It's not nearly as many as this one. The ultimate system, this is the medium package. It allows you to connect up to 20 nozzles, which is perfect for us and our day geckos. And then the advanced system, and this is what like a lot of zoos use, or a lot of pretty big breeders that have tons and tons of cages they need to mist at the same time. Great for chameleon breeders, definitely. The advanced system connects up to 70 nozzles, I believe, which is a ton. But yeah, the system's super reliable. Now, I've tested out and I've used before like the monsoon system for just a couple cages here and there. I still have a couple of those running. Those work pretty well, but if you need like multiple cages misted on an automatic timing system, definitely my recommendation, go with MistKing. This is the most, out of all of the systems I've used, this is the most customizable too, what I mean by that is it comes with a really nice digital timer, and this timer, you can program it down to the seconds with multiple times throughout the day misting. So like, if I wanted to just mist the day geckos for 10 seconds, 10 seconds every 30 minutes or every hour throughout the day, I can actually program it just to mist for 10 seconds, or I can mist it up to a minute, let the mist run for 2 minutes, and multiple times throughout the day. That's how cool this timer is. You can literally dial it down to the seconds. It even has a non-drip system that you can set up with it. This one comes with that as well, which basically as soon as the misting is done, it shuts off. You won't have any water dripping out of the nozzles, which is pretty cool. The way it works with the tubes and the nozzles, you can customize the route you need to go any way that you want, whether it needs to go up, down, left, right, whatever. Yeah, super customizable system, very robust. And another really cool thing about this is even the mist that comes out of the nozzle is so fine, it's almost, if it was any finer, it would be classified as fog. That's how small these little teeny micron water droplets are. Just super, super cool. You can't go wrong with MistKing, and it is just one more accessory that makes my life way easier. The next item on our list, pretty simple, is a blender. That's right. So, obviously, with us having hundreds and hundreds of geckos, a blender is the easiest way for us to mix up Crested Gecko diet. Now, if you only have a few geckos, then I recommend just mixing it up by hand. It's the easiest way, and that's how we started, and that worked for a while. Up until we had probably like over 30 geckos maybe, then we switched up to using the ketchup style squeeze bottle, right? So in the bottle itself, we would put the water in, we would throw in the powder and shake it up, which worked, and it was pretty efficient. But the problem we would have is, and it drove me crazy, is it would continuously get clogged. I would literally have to keep a paper clip on me at all times to shove it up the spout to unclog it. Almost, it felt like every 5 minutes. And sometimes I'd get really frustrated, it would get clogged, and I would go Super Saiyan 10 and start squeezing the bottle death grip on it. And of course, me being an idiot, the top of it would explode off the bottle and I would have Pangea spray all over the room, all over my pants, and I would get super mad. Gecko breeder problems 101. Anyways, so once we got, over 100 geckos plus, we finally switched it up to a blender and it completely changed our life. Super easy. Best thing is, this grinds up the diet, pretty much liquefies everything to an ultra fine liquid. And yeah, it makes it super smooth to pour it into the squeeze bottle. At that point, it never clogs anymore. And I thought at first when we were switching over to the blender that we would waste a little bit because it's of course spraying up on the sides in here. But we just use a small, like batter style spatula. And once we pour it all out into the ketchup bottles, then we just go in and kind of scoop it around the sides and pull everything out the last little bit. So pretty much nothing goes to waste. And yeah, saves us a ton of time. And this one right here is a KitchenAid one, so really nice, right? But Priscilla actually just got a brand new Ninja blender. This thing has like triple blades going all the way up it. It's really cool. This thing is like what you see in like the Planet Smoothie shops that they use in there. And I'm like eyeing it, and she's saying, she looks at me and goes, Brian, do not use this blender for gecko diet. This is for us. This is for our own food. Do not use it for the gecko diet. I have to stick with this one for now, or I'll get in a lot of trouble. Up next, sticking with the gecko diet theme, is this right here. This is Pangea's new ultimate feeding dish. Now, you're probably like, it's just a feeding dish. Big whoop. Who cares? Well, I'll tell you, like I said, everything on this list, it's all about efficiency. So why are we talking about this? So at first glance, pretty straightforward. Has two, inserts for the small cups. Fits either the plastic ones or the new biodegradable ones a lot of people are using. You can do food and water in here, right? And it sits flat. It's not a magnetic ledge or anything. So the first cool thing about this is the way it's designed, it's impossible to tip over. There's no way the gecko is gonna knock this over, right? Meaning the food is gonna, for the most part, stay in there. Now they can still step in it and walk all over the place, but so far I've been testing these out with our breeders and they haven't really been making much of a mess with this. So that's the first thing I like. Now the main reason why I like this and why it made the list is it's silicone. So when you go to wash this out, and what I mean by that, we're not using the inserts at all. I'm just putting the food directly in here. When you go to wash this out, you just put a little bit of water in and it just wipes right out like it's nothing. It takes half a second to do it. And that's why I like this. It's all about efficiency. If I can clean it super fast, then I'm gonna go with that. So I might actually be upgrading probably all of our Crested Gecko breeders to this, and maybe even all of our juveniles and grow outs to this as well, because it's just an awesome design, really, as simple as it is. So good job, Pangea. All right, now, next item, we have this right here. This is a dry erase board, obviously, right? We've all used these before at some point. But yeah, I'm just throwing this on the list real quick because we have this hanging up in our gecko room. Currently it's in my hands though, because we're kind of relocating stuff around, reorganizing everything. But yeah, so this is kind of important because we kind of write down on the calendar here our feeding schedule for the different geckos. Also put cleanings on here. We also have our show schedule as well. Got Repticon Sarasota coming up, Orlando, Tampa, and then different miscellaneous projects I'm working on, any other notes we need to write on here. Because when you have this many geckos, there's a lot to remember. And It's so much easier remembering things if you just take the 2 seconds and write it down, even just daily task and everything, and it feels so good to cross those items off the list too once you accomplish them. So this works with us, and it's big and in our face too. When we walk in the gecko room, we're looking right at this and we know, all right, today we got to get this done or this done. We have to feed the day geckos today. The new Caledonian geckos need to get fed. We have a show coming up this weekend. We need to do someone's picking up a gecko at this destination on this date. We write that stuff down on here. Yeah, a ton of different things. So super useful, keeps us organized, because let me tell you, I have the worst memory, so that definitely helps us out. All right, so the last item on our list for accessories that make my life as a gecko breeder way, way easier. It's actually something that we had the last time we did this video, but it is version 2 of that item. So let me just rearrange this real quick because it's gonna take up a little bit more space, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Last on our list is this right here. This is version 2 of our Royal Gecko Chef Cart. Yep, that's right. So I still have the original from the first video I did a couple years ago, but we wanted to get a second cart. That way 2 people can be in different rooms feeding the geckos at the same time to save time. Anyways, yeah, but I wanted to show you this because it is different than the other one, and I think this setup is absolutely awesome. So I have it, as you can see, kind of modded out. Of course, we got the gecko diet on the bottom, paper towels, little cups, chlorhexidines there, but we attached several accessories, right? We have this phone mount right here. That way you can watch Guardians of the Geckos YouTube videos while feeding all of your geckos. Hey! But ultimately, all this stuff on the sides here keeps you from putting things on the top shelf itself, so you're not splattering gecko diet on top of everything. It just gives you more space to work with, right? Same with, like, got the trash bag attached on the side there. And then we got the cup holders over here, which you can either put your Monster energy drink, or gecko diet in the water bottle. That's how we're using it right now. What else? Oh yeah. So actually, let me move these cups real quick. This right here, I even added on top. This is a little kind of like a toolkit mat that, you know, once you splatter gecko diet all over this, you can easily just take it off and wash it, wipe it down, however you want to clean it. But the coolest thing and why I got this exact version is you can actually, you know, once you're done feeding all your geckos, if you're really big on saving space, making everything look clean and neat, and you don't want a giant chef cart taking up a lot of room, the coolest thing with this specific one right here is once you're done, you can take everything off, and it actually folds up in the back here, and the whole thing collapses down. And you can actually store it out of the way. And it takes up just very little room at that point. Just a really awesome design with this cart right here. So, like I said earlier, I will put the link in the description on where to get the cart, as well as all the accessories we kind of have on here if you want to deck yours out too. Pimp Your Ride Gecko Edition Chef Cart. Yeah, so that is the final item on our list. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope this was insightful. My whole goal with this video, as well as all of our other videos, is to really just help you guys out with your own gecko breeding journey through all of the experience that we've encountered over the years. That way we can make it a little bit easier on your end. So that's all I got in today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button. Comment below, let us know your thoughts. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future 2022 videos. See y'all next time.